right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Honcast here. We got the Onslaught coverage continuing, Losers Bracket Finals. Nullstone currently up 1-0 over Shrek is Love right here. So, 70-minute game number one. Definitely, you know, going all throughout there as far as both the teams just back and forth battle. It seems like Nullstone, for a lot of the later game, were in their favor, but even throughout the late game stage, Ogre had some shots, had some chances, and solid game definitely all throughout. But Nullstone pulling through behind the carry of Dark Liddy and a couple other reasons, safe to say. So they're up 1-0, trying to take care of business and move on to the grand finals. Shrek trying to force that third game. Midas first pick so far into Moira, so things are familiar here. Magnus into Cthulhu Font as well coming out. So, you know, I'm looking at the initial bans too, and I know Shrek did the last game too with the Oogie, but I don't know if Oogie is necessarily a hero you ban anymore against Nullstone.
Well, you say that, and and
then they pick it and dominate. Yeah,
exactly.
no, I know.
That's the problem. I don't know. I know what you mean, to be fair, because the reason being is like you want to be banning heroes that they're playing as of right now, because you want to be banning out, taking away heroes that they're very comfortable with in terms of most recent performance. But with that being said, I mean, like you've seen them dominate with Oogie time and time again, so it's hard to sort of stray away from that kind of thing. It's hard to say, like, who else would they ban out, though? Like, who else was a big threat in that game? Lodestone, yeah, but, I mean...
No.
They're not.
Not even necessarily reacting to that, but maybe like the Midas, I guess? They have been running a lot of Midas.
Maybe.
But,
yeah, I guess they have been running a lot of Midas, but... I mean, look at that win rate from Moira, though. 75% win. You know how ridiculous that actually is in terms of fair matches.
Yeah. Only 16
like,
games.
It's only 16.
But still, that's
75% win. Like good heroes or quote unquote like broken heroes normally only have like a 60% win rate kind of thing. But having a 75, that's number one overall with Fulgur. Like it's just ridiculous, honestly. Like that's a really, 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 really high win rate, honestly. But
yeah.
Regardless, to pick up here, I mean, I guess Nullstone, they prioritise Midas over the Moira, that's why they picked it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fuzzyslov plays a fantastic Midas and has great success with it, but Moira just seems to open up a lot of different avenues in terms of play with what she can do. Obviously, she can gank very effectively with her ephemeral forwards, can obviously disengage very well, obviously with the Arcane Vortex, can sort of help out in terms of team fights as well, like the defensive capabilities. Like there's so many different things. Obviously, the mana, like every one of her abilities has a great sort of skill set for doing different things. And no surprise, we see it first pick here from Ogre. I mean, if Nullstone not going to take it, they'll take it from themselves. So
yeah, you see Nullstone that head-to-head matchup, including last game. They're 5-2 against them, but taking that consideration as well. Again, see the overall records too. Yeah, Nullstone slightly ahead of that 50% win percentage. Shrek having a little more trouble there, but.
Quincy, do you have the like overall stats between Legion and Hellborn? Like, who has the higher win rate? Legion and
classic Legion versus Hellborn.
I'm just wondering. What is it, like 55 to Hellborn, 45 Legion? I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume Hellborn's ahead, but we got the picks finishing off. Obviously, Midas, Magnus, and Tempest is what Nullstone finishes with. You got Moira, Cthulhu Font, and Puppet Master coming out for Shrek here. So
yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
about right. 0.5 difference, but yeah, Tempest decent pickup though. And seeing as you've already seen their sort of jungler as well, it's not going to be like a Parasar and Ophelia that can sort of counter you to a big degree. Moira is a hero that can actually deal quite well against Tempest Ultimates, because obviously you can Arcane Vortex into a counter Tempest Ultimate, which can really stop any kind of damage that Nullstone are picking up. And seeing as actually they've got Magnus and Tempest, Moira is actually really, really good here in this game, because the Eruption from Magnus can completely be nullified. Same goes for the Elemental Void from Tempest. So yeah, Moira, or Cluckbuck in this case, can have a lot of chances for some big plays actually.
See the carry options, obviously a lot of them being banned out here, Swiftblade, Shadowblade, and they did the Dark Lady, of course, on top of that. So, I mean, Malakin is still on the board, right? They could go the Malakin option themselves.
I don't see why not.
That, yeah.
Would work really well with the Tempest anyway. And the Cleave, if you can catch 2 or 3 in the Tempest, like you cleave everyone down, similar to like a Dark Lady Room Cleaver. But
or they could go Forsaken Archer. I mean,
oh god, no, that hero is actually like trash.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up until it actually happens, man. That's still one of like the what is it, like probably like 7 or 8 heroes now that we haven't seen on record at least. So one of these times, though, she will make an appearance. See, Shrek is from this side here.
I think Nullstone, they need to finish off with a strong physical presence carry, though Malakan would be good. I think even perhaps a Gemini or Ogre will pick up Malakan themselves as well.
All right.
I mean, to be fair, like I said, I think Nullstone would have definitely picked up Malakan, a very, very strong hero, and it would have fit perfectly with them. And so now Nullstone are in a position of like, what else can we really pick now that can deal with it? I mean, I'd like to say maybe, yeah, Gemini, but Gemini isn't great against Pub Master because the dogs can get wrecked because of that. I mean, I guess that's probably their only real option because what else do they really play? Kronos, actually. That's maybe perhaps a Kronos. You can jump, but then again, like Moira count,
and then
yeah,
Moira,
Kronos, Moira does sort of counter Kronos quite a bit because it's similar sort of Tempest armor.
Draconis or Clanks.
Yeah, they're not a Clanks team though. I don't think Big Bang plays a lot of Clanks.
I gotta play something different, most likely. So.
Yeah, I guess. Gemini is the only one that makes the most amount of sense. But
I would love Nomad. That'd be fun. Probably not gonna be that though.
It would be cool, but he has great. Or Sullivan, I guess.
Yes. All right, there's a second chance for them.
I actually like this though.
Yeah.
Not only because they played it well last game, but it makes sense in the draft and the strategy. Like what we saw from yesterday is that Salomon isn't a late game carry. What he is a strong mid game carry because you can sort of take the window timing of the enemy carry that you'll have like maybe 1 or 2 extra items over him because you've got higher GPM naturally. Because of the wish for wealth. And seeing as Ogre have picked up kind of a greedy lineup.
Yeah,
they've got Moira, it's pretty greedy. Obviously, in the lane we saw in game 1, didn't have a great laning phase, but then they've got 2 carries in Malak and Puppet Master. And like, where's their counter push? Their counter push is Malak and Sword Throw. And so if Salomon and the whole of Null looking to sort of start grouping up, team fighting, for example, before Ogre already, yeah, I think it's a really good pick, honestly, and I do like the decision here. It just depends, obviously, if we see that kind of build from Salomon. Is it going to be the one that Fuzzysoft played last time? We went Dawnbringer into Behemoth and then got a Resto Stone. I think if he goes that build, I think that might be a little bit too greedy because they won't be able to pressure him off, which will give obviously Ogre enough space.
What is going on here? Armadon? What is the logic for that? I mean, I guess, what is it going to be? It's Suicide Armadon?
Yeah, it'd be Suicide Armadon. I don't know how much these guys play in terms of Dota, but it's really, really popular in Dota. But I don't think it's going to work out here too well, though. Like, again, very, very greedy. This is like a tri-core lineup, though.
Yeah.
Like, very, very greedy. And, like, who's your space creator? Like, Cthulhu isn't really a space creator because, he only offers really lockdown. Moira, again, doesn't offer too much damage. Not like a Witch Slayer that can create a lot of space for you. The only one that really can create space is Puppet Master, but he needs an Assassin's Shroud before he can do that. So I think this is going to be very, very greedy. Yeah, don't get me wrong. If they can withstand the team fight presence from Nullstone, yeah, it's gonna be great because they have a lot of ways to scale well into the late game. But I mean,
man, yesterday and today,
greed.
Yesterday and today have been quite the treat when it comes to just seeing different stuff, and I'll say that. I mean, we are getting plenty of it from here in the Onslaught. And coming into what is the, well, obviously this is the final day here. Losers Bracket Finals here. 1-0 right now for Nullstone, trying to take care of business, whereas Sync is waiting in the Grand Finals to face the winner of this. And that'll be later on today, of course, in a best out of 5. So, but yeah, again, if you missed it yesterday, guys, we saw Salamon twice. The first game by Sync as a Suicide Salamon, and ended up working out very well. And then actually the third game of the series, we saw Fuzzy Sloth play it yesterday, which he is here today, against Sync as a carry Salamon, and it did great, as, again, you would expect with him. I also love the stat line for him. I mean, 3 games, 1 and 2 record, but he's 657 GPM average. That's ridiculous, but again, that's just how the hero works. So the Armadon apparently has been played once before. I want to say that was Sync, actually, that ran it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I believe it was. They ran it one game randomly. And,
it's something that I know BMG used to love to do it.
Yeah,
they talked about it a lot, and BMG do anyway. I know Cracky, it's one of his favourite heroes alongside Legionnaire. He loves those sort of strengthy, tanky kind of initiators in that respect. I guess Armadon feels that sort of lineup as well. He really does like Armadon.
Okay, so I mean, so going back to that though, so yeah, a Suicide Armadon. Do you think like he'll match up well against a Salamon? Like the fact that he can.
Yeah, he'll match up quite decently because Salomon actually has a very, very weak laning presence. Like all he has to offer is obviously the Cosmic Cleave, so it's like very, very poor. Not only that, he can't really get boxed out too much from the Glaciers as long as he starts specking obviously the Armadillo and the Spine Burst. He's not going to be maxed down. Obviously, Tempest again quite a passive jungler, so he won't be able to to have a big presence in the lane either. So, I mean, if there is going to be a game for a Suicide Armadon, I guess it's this one, because I don't think he's going to be pressured too much in lane. Like, I don't think there's any kill potential, really, as long as he has good vision to spot out where the Tempest is going to be.
Yeah. I'm kind of just messing around with him right here about the pauses. Really should start tracking that to get an idea of which teams actually do pause the most in the pregame. Again, I think it's when Nullstone's involved. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually are, because all these European teams on the USC servers and whatnot. Anywho, yeah, this Armadon, so you mentioned, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of Dota flavor thrown in here with the bristleback, I believe is the equivalent. So, do they usually run a Suicide over there, do you know?
Yeah,
okay,
Suicide.
so it's that same idea too. Okay.
It's because you can actually farm the Ancients quite effectively, and I mean, in this case you don't really have the ability to do that because it doesn't do enough damage, unfortunately. That'll be a banger. But yeah, like I was talking about in terms of just the laning presence, for example. It's just not. It's not going to be punished because, like Salomon, like I said, has no link presence. Only the Glacius and Tempest is going to be spotted out as long as he has a ward to sort of follow where he's going to be. So.
You are right, though. I mean, this is definitely kind of a tri-carry setup. Well, it is a tri-carry setup here, going up against what is the solo carry of Salomon, and it's going to be a lot of teamfight potential here for Nullstone. That's what they're going to be relying on, and definitely the activity early on in the game. A very greedy lineup picked up by Shrek, but most certainly it can pay off in the long run. It's just a matter of how does the early game start and how the pace is set, of course. So, see some wards going down, blocking a couple of camps right here to start things off, making it difficult for what you got here, playing the Tempest. He does have a Rev Ward on him, so he's going to attempt at least to counter one of these Ward of Sights here. We'll see if it's successful. Is that a double block? Is this Ward of Sight block it? I don't think it does here at the bottom.
What?
Room.
No,
No,
that doesn't block it.
It's just the Rev Ward here.
Yeah.
That would. So as long as
if you want to block it, you put it like kind of just to the left of the Ward of Revelation.
Yeah, right there. Now, let's see if you'll be able to do this on the ground, perhaps. I guess we're going to have to do it.
Yeah. It would be as if you,
oh, he's uncertain.
If he puts it like in the middle, he's going to catch both actually.
Oh, yeah, that would.
He's probably going to wait to see if it actually
is blocked.
If it's blocked or not, and then probably do it because that's like the most common place where it's normally blocked actually. So.
Moira Armadon going to be bottom, so Moira's going to babysit him. They're going aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this makes a little bit of sense as well because it could just be a normal dual lane, for example, and Tempest obviously been quite a passive jungler. Oh, they're expecting Cthulhu to be in the enemy jungler as well. He just blocked his own camp. Yeah, what you got just blocked his own camp. Yeah, he definitely thought that Cthulhu was in the enemy jungler, which makes a lot of sense, really. Cthulhu obviously a very good and aggressive jungler, and obviously Tempest is kind of a weak jungler in that respect. But like I said, they're really trying to put pressure onto Nullstone. They've got Salomon and Glacius, which is pretty league winning phase, and then they've got Tempest as well, which is again a greedy jungler. So they're going to punish it quite a lot. And with what they're doing here, they're going to try and win all three lanes. However, middle is going to be kind of a hard lane to really deal or get a lot of farm with in terms of Hard Master, because Glacius Magnus, like he's easily going to die if he's not careful. Just because a stun plus combo from Glacius, he's just going to feed. So around like level 3, level 4. So he's going to have to be very, very careful.
Well, Magnus right here. You got, I think it's a good pressure off the bat, but yeah, perhaps going to change things up here. Moira does come to the middle lane now. Going to be a babysit for Puppet Master instead, and yeah, going to go for the idea of making it more of a 2v2, but as you're stressing, I mean, definitely some kill potential with the Magnus Glacius here, so you have to definitely be a little bit worried about that. But Mighty Marcus on the Armadon here at the bottom lane. He's definitely feeling comfortable going up against Salomon by himself here. And we'll keep an eye to see how that progresses and whatnot. It does mean Midas is going to end up being a Suicide Midas here against what is Malakin, being played by Nox yet again. Getting a very comfortable hero for him. And you know, overall, again, the idea that they had the Puppet Master, I was thinking like Malakin for the Legion team, but they took it themselves. Like I said, maybe a little bit of a keep it away out of Nullstone's hands, but this is how it ended up in the end. So Tempest, from what you got, second most played hero, but his second worst jungler at 4 and 6. So stop playing Tempest. No, that's obviously not too bad of a record. It just so happens to be 4 and 6, but he's going to try for that victory here and come close to the 500 mark at least. That's concerned. So
yeah, Onslaught has actually got quite a lot of farm in this lane though. I guess it's not to be expected, though, to be fair, or it is to be expected, sorry, because we talked about actually more as aggressive dual laning potential last game, and it's not really there, to be fair. She isn't the most threatening, and she can get bursted down and sort of picked off if she doesn't have perfect positioning. So she doesn't really have the same ability to really pressure the enemy safe lane, and that's why Fuzzyloff's got pretty decent GPM. And actually, Fuzzyloff is playing the Salomon, so I'm assuming Bivbanger just is not comfortable on Salomon.
Yeah, well, we have it, like just yesterday. That you're right. Yeah, we thought it may have been because of the hook heroes, but most certainly we know that Magnus. I mean, that is true. Yeah, it probably just has a lot to do with that. The Fuzzyloff just knows the hero, he's more comfortable with it, and that's being the case. Yeah. So it's kind of funky because I mean it's not the hardest hero to play, to be fair, but
no, it's not really. But I don't know. Maybe just Speedbang just is not comfortable with it because Fuzzyloff is like one of his like best heroes. Honestly, was his Magnus. So maybe if you remember like him playing the offlane Magnus, getting like dual. Like
speaking of Magnus, he's actually getting got on here in the middle lane. This could be a bloodlust kick. It's starting to get low himself, but down goes Magnus. Tempest couldn't get there in time. Will it be enough though? Yes, it will. So at least they get the counter kill. Good rotation from what you got, happen to be in the vicinity, and at least again gets the counter kill. But bloodlust kill in favor of the Hellborn side. Look at the bottom lane, Armadon. Those quills adding up. You see the mana battery on Salomon again. That's a number. That's an item you want ASAP against an Armadon, and that's why he has it here. So he will be fine. But yeah, back and forth exchange in the middle. Again, the bloodlust kill in Shrek's favor. Masera actually getting the bloodlust kill. Playing the puppet here.
Yeah, he should actually pop his mana battery charges though right now because they're not stacking obviously because 10 is the max. So they're kind of wasting him at the moment really.
Oh, Salomon again. He's taking some pressure. You see another quill spam right there. Those charges add up, and it can catch you off guard if you're not careful. Like,
because Salomon, when he had obviously 10 charged on his mana battery, like he's wasting them every single time Armadon uses another spell because they're not obviously adding any extra. I think he was holding them to try to make like a big play, trying to catch Armadon off guard with the mana battery charges, but as a result, sort of wasted him a little bit, and that's why he's going to go back to base.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, we are seeing this mount against more of a passive farmer that is a Salomon. The potential of an Armadon again, because just even with the mana battery, the quill spams, it's something it's difficult to deal with, and choosing not to have the babysit down here, really, you gotta wonder about that a little bit if that's proven to be the best decision on the side of Nullstone. So it looks like Glacius is going to come down here now.
I think it's because they expected Cthulhu to be in the jungle as well, and they were like, yeah, we'll just sack this lane. Like, there's no point us Glacius being down and try and have an impact mid. Actually, top lane Midas is gonna be fine. Nice. Yeah, so they thought, try and shut down Papa Master instead, but now, he Cthulhu isn't in the jungle. I'd like to see Glacius come down bottom, and he actually has, so, yeah. But this might be a little bit too late, though, now, because Armadon's level 6, so, like, Glacius level 4 is not going to box out level 6 Armadon with, like, 300 GPM, so perhaps a little bit of a poor laning situation, but that's just Nullstone. Like, we've talked about it time and time again. Like, they always have a bad laning stage, but in terms of the mid and late game, they always seem to do very well. They just come back. I don't know how, but they do it.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Salomon, we saw it from the Suicide Salomon from Keizu, to be fair, on the Game 1 of Sync. I mean, he had a horrendous start, was not getting anything but that Wealth for Gold, or whatever it's called, the Wish for Wealth.
Wish for Wealth.
Anyways, the point being, it obviously the passive increase, if anything, is what really will help, and then again, the idea that when you do get the last hit, it's even that much more gold on top of that, which adds up. So most certainly has a comeback potential, but yeah, the difference is, though, again, he's the short lane farm of this game, so you're expecting him to have a good start, and the fact that he's only 260 gold per minute, that's pretty scary. It really is at 5.5 minutes in, because this is a hero that potentially could be 300 easily plus, if not even close to 400 at this point. So,
yeah, and I think the biggest and most important thing as well is that with Nullstone, their sort of strategy obviously is that they want to start taking team fights, always pressure. Ogre, they're running like a tricore now, very, very gritty, very, very risky, for example. So. And whenever you play like a team fight and push lineup, you want to have a good timing lane. The reason being is because the good timing lane, you snowball in terms of your effectiveness and sort of taking taking towers down, for example, as well. If you have a poor laning stage when you play this sort of style of draft, you can't really group up and take team fights because the enemy team, because they had better golden experience in the lanes, they're able to actually fight you, which is the one issue perhaps that they've got here. I mean, they're not too far behind, to be fair, but it's something that they should definitely be careful of.
Yeah. Well, looks like, unfortunately, Beaver Banger gonna DC right here. So, again, just like the first game, hopefully not too much of an issue here. I'm just going to reconnect you shortly, and we'll be good to go. We do got, again, this is only game 2 of this series, and Sync Esports is waiting in the grand finals, a best of 5 with them being up 1-0 is what is on the line later on today. And we talked about how Sync is also boot camping currently, getting ready for the World Finals. Apparently Casey's been a little bit under the weather, but I've even seen him in chat today and everything. I'm sure he's fine as far as that's concerned. Just making sure he's going to be good to go, especially for that. But another thing about this, obviously the prize pool is always important too, and $3,000 overall prize pool. But the loser of this match will finish off with $500 of that for third place, so something. But increases to $1,000 for second, then $1,500 for first. So better money, of course, as you would expect if you advance on here. And right now, Nullstone in that better spot to do so. So the ready call comes out, and going to be good to go here shortly. But yeah, looking at the GPM charts right now, again, only 5.5 minutes in, but definitely Shrek has to be feeling fairly good about where they're at so far. But things can change as time is still early on here. I do love, though, how we're just seeing so many different things now. And again, knowing that around the corner, too, like this is without even seeing the Southeast Asian teams and CIS and whatnot and what they're going to be running at the World Finals. It's kind of a glimpse of, like, we're seeing some weird things here. Expect more of this at the World Finals, basically, because they do different things across the world. So
definitely. And not only that, but just because it's going to be different teams in different regions, I mean, people are going to have actual sort of specific plans and strategies up their sleeve, like secret sort of strategies. So expect to bust out some special strategies. I know probably BMG and Sync definitely have some things up their sleeves, and it wouldn't surprise me if other teams have them as well. So more diversity, which is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah. Salomon, though, again, that ulti form does give him presence if a fight does break out earlier on in this game. So see if
it's quite interesting as well. Actually, he's actually spec'd his Cosmic Cleave over his Wish for Wealth, because he's actually had a hard time in lane from Armadon. So that's why he needs a little bit more lane presence that he's coming up from Cosmic Cleave. Otherwise, obviously, he'd be maxing out the Wish for Wealth, but yeah, makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, that's definitely that's interesting because yeah, Wish for Wealth you would think is just you want to max that out on a hero like Salomon because of how he's struggling a little bit. Definitely understandable, at least, why it goes for that. But see right there, kind of back and forth harassment. But again, those charges just add up so quickly. And you see, like, he's already at half life. I mean, it's how does he withstand that? You do see Glacius again is down here, but even Glacius, it's a level 6 Armadon already. So now level 6 Tempest also coming over. They need to go now. Yeah, this is a good chance right here. Armadon getting a little too greedy. Mighty Marcus, it's finally going to bite him in the ass right here. Now he has his back turned, and that's, good for Armadon. Of course, he does have the Armadillo leveled up, but it doesn't matter. They will get the kill, so they make him pay at least. And finally, some opening up here for Nullstone at this bottom lane.
Yeah. Nice rotation, but it's just because he had no vision. Like, he had no vision on the Tempest, had no vision on the Glacius, and because of that, he just died. Top lane, Midas might be in trouble.
Oh, wow, way over here. Yeah, Cthulhu finding him in between the towers. Haystreet helping with that, trampling 5 more seconds. He's going to put in the auto attacks. One more? Yep, it'll do it. He just got something delivered right there, but obviously not enough mana to get away. And that Haystreet doing work here for Cthulhu Font. So good chase from Fine and picking off Midas in the process. So excellent job by him. Malikan and especially Puppet Master, though. They continue to do very well themselves. Puppet Master here in the middle lane, nearly 360 go from it. Again, this is, like we talk about, more of the secondary carry role Puppet Master. We've seen this a couple times, but it seems like still getting the Assassin Shroud and going from there makes sense. That's back to the bottom lane. Armadon again. Look at this, ulti form Salomon. He's like, now I got ulti, baby. I want to fight now. Down goes Armadon, and again, you see the potential there of a level 6 Salomon and what it could do. Oh, middle lane, the Voodoo Puppet's out. Yeah, Glacius, he puts the freeze out, though. Midas comes in as well. MS Zero's going to be turning right there. The Voodoo Puppet's still up. You see Mora maybe trying to get the kill still. No, it's not going to be enough damage, I don't think. Yeah, it'll even disappear. And now Midas, in fact, going to go on a Moira right here. Moira puts a stun out. Not going to last too long, though. Gets that transmute. That should be a kill. No, he dodges it. Has the Elemental Warp. Is it going to be enough? It will be. And down he goes as Magnus comes in to assist at least. Beaverbanger getting credit. Cthulhu fought just too late. Malikan can sword throw. He has an ulti form. Gonna pop it right there. Midas is very low on mana, but I think he should have enough for the Elemental Warp. Yes, he does. 1 more second, so he's gonna be good. Magnus stuns back in actually, but no, they don't have enough follow-up. That'll be the end of that, so big turnaround.
Nice play though. Yeah, nice play from Nostad as well. I think it was Cluckmock. Oh, Midas. He didn't even pick up the Invis. Oh my god, nice. But no stun on Cthulhu. But yeah, I think Cluckmore just went too yellow for for that Voodoo Puppet. As a result, just got to die. Just nice play from Oscar, realizing he'd get the kill. So that's fine. Salamon's picked up the Ring of Health. I'm assuming it's going to be, or Life Tube, sorry, it looks like it would be Helmblight Legion as well. That's the build he went last time, so I assume it's going to be the same.
No, yeah, again, it seems like, I know KZ did that as well, and I'm sure a little bit different roles, but it seems like it is just a good go-to item, because there's fights happening. It is a very solid item to have in that case. More in the meantime, by the way, she's trying to hide up here. Okay, that was the illusion. I thought it was the real one for a second.
Oh my god, Armadon.
That was the fake one. Armadon, he's in a little bit of trouble. No, there's a Tempest ultimate, but if he gets some cool procs right Max, Cthulhu comes in, and down goes Tempest. Midas is here, looking for the turn though on Armadon still. Armadon has his back to it again. You got to be careful about that. Not only taking less damage, but the Quill procs will happen. Down goes Salomon. Midas now in trouble. Great support coming in.
Really nice.
And in the end, big turnaround. Fine double tap.
This ward here, like, I was talking about how Armadon needed a ward to be safe, but that ward just set up everything from the side of Ogre. They saw Tempest coming in. Moira delayed Tempest as well by using the Ephemeral Forge. They all TB'd in. They killed Tempest. They killed Salmon, and obviously they killed Midas as well. So really nice play. And they just caught Nullstone by surprise, honestly. So.
Yeah. A tower goes down at the top lane right there. You see Malikin pushing it in, and 400 gold per minute now for Nox, so going the typical. Like I said, though, going back to earlier about Puppet Master again, still expect the Assassin Shroud at least on him. And we'll see how he builds up from there. But, I mean, yeah, that makes sense to you, though. Still getting the Assassin Shroud and going from there on a Puppet Master secondary carry.
Well, like, he needs to be making space and sort of making plays, and that's where the Assassin Shroud is going to come in. If he goes Whispering Hell, he's going to be keeping on taking farm, which is not the place to go. Actually, Armadon.
He's finding himself in a troublesome spot here in the jungle. You see Magma's Eruption, but again, Armadon, Mystic Vestments, Steam Boots, back being turned, it's reducing a lot of damage, and that's showing right there. As far as that's, I mean, you see the level 2 of the Armadillo. Yeah, I'm going to double check. I know that's changed a little bit. It's down to 0% at 95 degrees from the bed. It's so crazy that the angles exactly matter how much reduction, but staying alive there. And again, not too surprising that he did. Glacius by himself in the middle lane currently, just kind of picking up some experience. Needs to be a little careful, though, because you can tell Shrek wants to maybe go in, but not going to find the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, Salomon, well, he's going to jump right here with his ulti form once again. Tempest coming in with the stun, and now Armadon again is going to fall. Again, that ward of sight, not enough. But like I said, Salomon with that ulti form, it does plenty. And it just needs really one to come in.
Do you have this tie announcer, by the way?
That freaking announcer pack, man. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Cthulhu finds Glacius, but no, it's going to be fine. But yeah, it's such a trolly announcer pack.
It's so funny.
Anyways.
Yeah, just again, nice play. That they keep killing the Armadillo, which is I think the right way to go, because like he's playing really, really far up, re-pressuring the Salomon, and the more kills you get onto him, it really puts kind of the fear into Mighty Marcus, saying that, you know, okay, maybe I'll be more defensive this time, which just creates more space and more lead room here for Fuzzyslov. One thing that might be a little bit of a question for concern though for Nelson is Magnus. Like, he's got very, very poor farm, and he was 2v1 against the Puppet Master. Like, Glacius was sitting Beaverbanger mid, and just solo against the Puppet Master, and he's got very, very low farm. And
Moira did come over earlier, to be fair.
Yeah, but still, even if it's like he had that, I think 2 or 3 minutes advantage, and even if, you know, it's 2v2 at the end of the day, like, he's got very, very low farm, and it's because where else can it be but that, you know, Beaverbanger doesn't really play Magnus. He's a carry player at the end of the day, and that could be the reason why. But regardless, either way, he's got very low GPM, and like 226 when you're playing mid just is unfortunately not good enough.
It's a different role, yeah. No, if you're going to be changing up like that, we're talking about put a lot of focus on Fuzzyslov doing it, but yeah, what about Beaverbanger? You know, kind of playing a little bit different there, as you mentioned too. Fuzzyslov a great Magnus player, so yeah, I mean that's no surprise to see that stat right there, because that's what I really expected. So, but
it's so weird. I don't know why they do this, but I'm going to definitely ask him afterwards. Like, it just makes no sense, really. Like, Fuzzyslov is their mid player. Like, he plays, you know, space creation, the initiation kind of thing, and Beaverbanger is their carry. So I don't understand why. It seems so weird.
It is.
Like, I guess we fought from loss when they played loss, actually middle lane.
Yeah, an engagement in here. He goes into the Arcane Vortex, does Midas, and now he's going to be in a bad spot as soon as he pops out. Easy kill onto him. Acera getting credit for that. So good stall with the Arcane Vortex, and Magnus and Glacius didn't want any of it. We'll see if they look to defend this middle lane now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're pressuring.
we were thinking this because obviously that Fuzzy Sloth couldn't play hookers in terms of like there was a Devour, I think there was a Gauntlet one game as well, but I think in all those games Salomon was actually picked up, so I think it's less so that he can't play hookers, it's that Big Vegan perhaps can't play Salomon. I don't know, but for some reason the roles are reversed and it seems very strange. But he actually picks up Sustainer. Yeah, he doesn't go the Helm Illusion.
Yeah. Maybe figuring, I mean, this game, I think it's a case he just knows he needs to farm. Because he gets down with the Black Legion, sure, it'll be a little bit tankier in team fights and whatnot, but he needs to be able to flash farm here. And because it's starting to get, it's already pretty crazy out of control. I mean, I haven't even really glanced at the stats yet as far as team stats, but even with that tower kill, they're still down 4,300 gold and 4,100 experience at 14 minutes. So yeah, this is a pretty big lead right now for Shrek. So I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't his intention initially, and he kind of just changed it up, figuring, you know what, I need to kind of go all in-ish here with this build.
Yep.
And will it be a Resto Stone or like a Rune Cleaver? Or?
I don't know. Like Resto Stone, I don't think he's gonna have the mana to sustain it. He's got Ghost Marches and like a mana battery. Like I don't know if he's gonna have the mana to actually sustain a full Resto Stone. Like the mana cost for Resto Stone is 300, and it's like that's more than half of his mana. Then obviously he's got to use his ulti, which is 100 plus, you know, the couple of the Cosmic Cleaves. Like he does not have mana to go straight Resto Stone. I'm pretty sure.
I guess Null Stone could be an option, definitely.
Yeah, but then like the Null Stone is like one of the worst pickups here though, because it's playing against an Armadon. So
yeah. Oh,
Midas
top lane, Midas. He wanted a Null Stone right there.
Yeah.
Unable to do anything about that.
It has to be a Rune Cleaver. Like it would seem completely. He's playing against a Puppet Master, yeah, kind of good, but then you're playing against Armador, which is so easy to take off the Null Stone with a Snot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good against Puppet, but yeah, I see that logic too, though. But if anything, it does. Okay,
yeah,
he's on the Rune Cleaver, so enough about that discussion.
I thought so. Makes sense.
He's going out there. Yeah, kind of that all-in-ish, like I said. Now, middle lane, they need to be careful about this because they're pushing in, but you can tell Shrek is going to be ready to respond right here. Moira's already here. She has an Arcane Vortex. Going to use the Ephemeral Forge behind them. And maybe catch them, actually. Oh, yeah, there we go. Gets Tempest at least. Here comes the supporting cast. Tempest in a lot of trouble here. He gets jumped and very likely going to fall. Now, Magma Stone, big stuff by him. Tempest doesn't even ulti. He does. Big turnaround right here for Null Stone Gaming. The Glacial Downpour. Down goes Malakin. Down goes Cthulhu Vaughn. Armadon joins the party late. He does have full life, full mana. Good to go, but Salomon comes out of the ulti form, and he takes out Puppet Master. Moria falls. It's a near genocide. It's just Armadon. Now, Armadon can be scary with the Quill spam, so don't think that it's over just yet. Mighty Marcus, he's going to be running away for now. Do they have a stun? They do. Magma stun's in. Again, look at the damage, though, coming out from him. But, yeah, it's not nearly enough, and down he goes. A genocide for Null Stone Gaming. What a fight by them.
Yeah, and I think that Moira ulti definitely backfired, and they're going to take some Ancients now as well. So really big turn of events here for Null Stone. And I think Ogre, they didn't respect the AoE. The AoE from Glacius, the AoE from Tempest, Magmus, and obviously the damage that Salomon actually has. So, I mean, you have to remember, like, Ogre are running a tri-core lineup. They want to take this late. They want to try and delay the game as much as possible. And there they are trying to force teamfights break here, and clearly it backfired.
Yeah. Huge turn. Yeah, look at Salomon. 480 gold per minute. The Rune Cleaver option, the very good item here, especially because of how that played out. I mean, I think it's safe to say he's happy that that it worked out wonders here. 21 more gold already saved up, and yeah, now that he has the Rune Cleaver as well, he's just going to be flash farming like crazy. Yeah, you just see that it's over 500 now all of a sudden. It's ridiculous with this freaking hero. So this is where he starts to take off. So no doubt Shrek is now a little bit worried, perhaps, compared to where they were a couple minutes ago, even, and understandably so. Like, you know, Armadon getting there late, I think, obviously was a big deal, too. He obviously probably wasn't expecting a big team fight to break out. All of a sudden, it kind of did. He had to waddle on over, and by the time he was, again, the damage was already done. But, yeah, big turnaround by as a team. And you see the bigger and better items for everyone coming out. I mean, obviously, Portokino, Major Totem here on Magmist to go Tablet. You got what you got on Tempest. He's got his solid core early on. Mine is still struggling a little bit with his farm, but he'll get there. He'll get that Portkey eventually and be of more use here. So Malakin on the other side of the spectrum still hasn't finished his Insanitarius. Okay, this looks like it's being delivered, actually. I believe it does require a pattern, right? Yes, it does. So he still needs a pattern, but I think he has enough gold for it now, actually. Anyways, he's going to have the Insanitarius here with the Whispering Helm. Again, you have the Assassin John now for a little bit already on Puppet Master. And speaking of that Armadon, his farm has slowed down a little bit, but it's, well, not really, I guess. 336 gold per minute. I thought it was going to be slowing down, but it's actually still up there, so We got a game, if anything, though. That's the good thing. He goes Firebrand. All right.
It's only going to be into Dawnbringer, something that he did do last game.
Yeah.
It's kind of a solid stats, obviously, on Salomon. Helps him farm better, gives him an extra bit of mana. The extra sort of tanking. It's just kind of a reliable item, obviously, on Salomon. He'd probably go Resto after the Dawnbringer, I think. Like, he's going to need like a little bit of a mana or an intellect item to actually give him enough mana to actually deal with the Resto, which is probably the reason why he's going to go into Dawnbringer. But then after that, he'll get that Resto, and then he's going to be a threat in team fights. So.
Continuing to clean up the bottom lane. Again, that GPM just continues to go up and up. Really
Oh,
skews that GPM chart. Bottom lane, though, he is in trouble. Invis Puppet Master with the Assassin Trial, but he reacts in time. Armadon coming up a little too far right there before Puppet Master was ready. So, yeah, that's the big... I mean, there was no vision. That was just simply, I think, yeah, he just saw Armadon and figured something's up, so...
Yeah. He was so... I thought he was going to die because he went back for that creep wave, but he only went for one Cosmic Cleave and backed off, so... Nice presence of mind there from Fuzzyslov. He was for sure dead if he got caught out by that Puppet Master.
Yeah. Yeah, Midas as a suicide, it does seem like it's not nearly as powerful for him.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him a lot lately.
And that's why I was talking about that. It just doesn't seem as strong, and the stats always nice to back your point up, really. But, yeah, it just seems you can have a lot more impact, like, because obviously when you have the transmute levels, you can have such a big impact a lot earlier than you normally could. Actually, Puppet Master's going for Solomon again, actually, but I don't think he's going to be able to kill him by himself. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to have the burst, so... Yeah.
He's spending a lot of time looking for kills. I mean, it makes sense. He is the secondary carry here. He's not the main.
Yeah, he has to. Like, he has to create space. Like I said, like there's no one else who's going to be creating space other than him and Cthulhu. So, I like his decision to try and roam because Malakan and Armadon are sort of taking the space in terms of farming. So he has to sort of create it.
What is Armadon going, you think? Soul's Bulwark here, maybe? Next
Yeah,
line?
it makes sense. It would allow Malakan to go something different, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I know Nox does like to go that demonic, but
yeah, I mean,
somebody else
he could
gets
go
souls.
Like there's a couple of weird items that I've seen people go with Armadon back in the day. Obviously, you have like the Gnome's Wisdom or even the Astrolabe, for example. But I think Soul's Bulwark is probably the most reliable and sort of solid item choice, and it frees up another item slot for Malakan to go like Shrunken or something else a lot earlier.
Jeez. Or melted right there. Almost thought it was the illusion for a second how fast he went down. But good jump by them again using the portal keys, and that's obviously a big value here for Nullstone Gaming. And they group up once again. They still don't have another. They do have the bottom tower kill, but they're going for this middle one once again. And this time around, it looks like they're in a much better spot to do so. And looks like they will get it. Bottom tower, though, does go down in favor of Armadon. Yeah, now 2,600 gold saved up, so we'll be picking up something big here in the near future. What about like a Shrunken Head, too? I guess it's very impactful against Sleep. And Salomon, I assume like his ulti stun is probably magic, so...
Yeah, his magic is magic.
Okay, and his Cosmic Cleave is magic, I assume? Or what is
no,
that?
It's not. It's physical.
It is physical, okay.
It's physical, yep. Yeah, I mean, Shrunken Head is okay, I guess, but like when you play Armadon, you actually middle lane Cthulhu.
Yeah, the catch good through the font here. Nope, Arcane Vortex comes out, going to stall that jump, and that's going to be that, it looks like. Well, maybe. Nullstone's still thinking about something here. They do have the ultimate on Salomon. They got Tempest ultimate, of course, so waiting for an opportunity, but don't think they're going to find it. And yeah, they'll fall back, and maybe they're going to jump Armadon, though, as soon as he shows himself. No. They're going to go back from there. So, but yeah, so Shrunken Head on, say the Armadon, you think could be big here?
I don't know, like, whenever you play like a tanky hero like Armadon, obviously you want to be almost taking a lot of the attention from the side of Nullstone, for example. I mean, there is a lot of AoE damage, which obviously Shrunken is going to be useful, but I don't know if he wants that or wants to have a bit more of a presence in terms of raw damage, honestly. It's hard to say. Shrunken is going to be reliable and it's going to be safe. But I don't know if they're going to have the damage if he goes just raw Shrunken Head, honestly, to really kill up the Salomon. But it makes sense, though. He's playing against a Magnus, playing against a Midas, and obviously the damage from sort of Salomon and Tempest. Yeah, I think Shrunken will be useful, really. But then if he's going to get Shrunken, then Puppet and Malaka will have to go ones for themselves. Otherwise, they're going to get targeted and just die in team fights. So, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like a triple Shrunken Head will be useful.
Definitely. So. You know, speaking of Armadon, too, as well, though, we're on that topic. Again, it's not Storm. You mentioned it earlier for, like, good Nullstone counter, but it's actually there's a Shrunken on Salomon being picked up there. So, again, he's going basically what he did the last game. But the Snotstorm's minus 2.5 armor each time he uses it, and it stacks up to, what, 5 times? So, yeah, you're looking at 12.5 minus armor, potentially, that it could get up to, you know, most likely in the 5 to 7.5 range. And you got Puppet Master, you got Malikan, a lot of physical presence here on this Hellborn side. So that kind of leads to this Legion team now. Abyssal Skull, Ring of the Teacher at the very least, a Soul's Borth himself, I think are pretty important items for them to have, and they don't really have it yet, and I know they don't have the best candidates, but...
Yeah, they don't have the greatest natural heroes that really go for it, but I think you're right, though. I think if it's going to be anyone, it's got to be the Magnus. I think you should pick up like a Demonic Breastplate, definitely. Perhaps even just go for a Abyssal Skull, because there is a lot of, like, all of the damage really from Ogre is physical outside of Puppet Master. So, yeah, they're going to need some form of armor, but Salomon is not the candidate to do so, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, Magnus, Portal Keys in. You see Mora's nearby, but not going to find him right there. Instead, as a team, they're going to push this top lane now. Tempest, he's sitting in the background. He has that Portal Key now, so he's got an Elemental Void ready to go. This is going to be a free tower push, though, it looks like. Obviously, Shrek not really too interested in defending. I mean, this would have been a pretty good Conqueror attempt right now, but not having the want to do that. Instead, they'll push elsewhere and farm elsewhere. Malikan working on his own Shrunken Head. Armadon has one, especially. You see the secondary tower on top, and this could be a different story. Do they want to just give up this one? Well, they probably are at this rate. Yeah, they're going to give it up.
Yeah.
Easy tower push.
They can't teamfight. How can they teamfight when there's only one Shrunken Head on the side of Armadon? Like, the draft that Nelson have built here is all about teamfight and looking for sort of objectives. Because Ogre, they've got a very greedy lineup, and at this time, like, they're at least 10 or 15 minutes before they start hitting their peak, so they've got a delay until then, and Nelson needs to try and squeeze every little bit of advantage before Ogre are going to start hitting their stride anyway.
Oh, Salomon, he's charging in. Almost checking Conqueror. Now he's going further in. No, Malikan just went to the Ancients, and now he's going to be spotted right here. Goes for the TP, but there's the stun from Salomon ulti form, and Malikan's going to fall. Yeah, that wasn't going to work, and that chase ends up working beautifully. He does have buyback, but that means that much longer on a Shrunken Head, and this is probably going to be a Conqueror kill, actually, as a result. So, good catch coming out there from Nullstone. And now it's going to be token on Salomon, most likely.
Ogre should be pushing bottom right now. They have to assume that they're taking Congo, and I don't think they can fight without Malikan unless they want to buy back a Malikan. They should definitely take this tier 2 bottom. But they're going back and forth. Like,
yeah, they're indecisive.
Mazera's back down here. Like, there needs to be, like, as one as a team.
It's like why is Puppet Master falling back? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, like, either you buy back a Malik and you fight this Congo, or you just go all in on that T2 tower. Because now, like, they don't even take this tower, and unfortunately, they get nothing to trade for because someone TP's back. So I think if they all went all on that tower, they would have got it before they TP'd back. But as a result, they miss out on opportunity, and I think Nelson, they should definitely take the tower mid and bot now, without a doubt.
Yeah. Middle lane, you see Puppet Master is nearby, and he needs to be careful. This is why Magnus stuns in. Midas follows. Cthulhu Fall will get the trample. There's the Arcane Vortex stalling once again. Glacial down for Glacius. That's going to be stopped as well. And coming out of the Vortex, what will happen? Puppet Master, nice lockdown on the Magnus and Midas. The Tempest ultimate, though. Malikan, he's just against because now he gets pulled in, but no follow-up. It was a very defensive one, if anything. And Tempest going to go down. You do see Fuzzy Sloth. He wasn't even nearby, ready to fight. And so the take right there from Nullstone, obviously not working, but yeah, big plays from Shrek right there.
Yeah,
Arcane Vortex.
Moira, though. Like, because with that Arcane Vortex, the Puppet Master dies, and then Nullstone easily back off, and they can re-engage with one less person on the side of Ogre. Instead, they all have to commit, and without Salomon, who has the token and who is all of your damage, they completely get punished. And really well played from Ogre, but Pluck again, what a save on top of the Masera. So really nice. And now they're going to get a 2 tower mid, so really nice play there.
Just love looking at the GPM charts with Salomon in the game. It's ridiculous. 700 gold per minute on him. I mean, it makes Malikan and Armadon and Puppet Master look like they're doing bad, but they're not. I mean, 450 on Malikan, 420 on Armadon, and you got 400 on Puppet Master. So they're all farming very well themselves, of course. It's just Salomon just exponentially higher, and that's again how he does. 4,500 gold saved up on him. I think the rest of Stone is next, right? That's what he does here. I mean, I'm trying to think of the last game. Maybe he did finish a full Dawnbringer, but
he did finish a full Dawnbringer.
Doesn't look like that's the case here.
Yeah, it probably will need actually the light brand in terms of just for the intel and the mana to actually warrant a Resto Stone, because obviously 300 mana just for the Resto Stone. And then double ulti and plus a couple of constant cleaves. Yeah, he probably would need it. I mean, I don't think he'll technically need it, but it will be definitely useful of having the extra mana just in case.
Yeah.
But I mean, he would have bought it by now, though, so if you're going to go... okay.
Hey, I was on board with you. I thought for sure it was a Resto Stone, but no, he decides I might as well wait till I have 3,000 more gold extra and buy a light brand, so it was a little silly.
I mean, he'll go Resto next, though, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of these small things. I don't know, I've always said it's kind of a pet peeve. It's like, why? Like, he just wasted a good couple minutes without a light brand for no reason. I mean, he literally, there was no reason for him to not do it because he has a token, if anything, for a buyback. Like,
yep.
It was just kind of pointless. But hey, maybe he was indecisive and not really sure. They're just bad, I guess. Yeah, not everyone could be me, top tier player. So that's what it comes down to, I guess. Well.
Makes sense, but I mean, some people they just farm and they're kind of on autopilot mode. Particularly, if I know Fuzzlesoft is actually, like I said, Nullstone. They don't really have, obviously, what you got is their leader and is there a captain, but they have a lot of sort of team decision, for example, and particularly when you're playing a carry or any kind of core, you go in autopilot mode in terms of just farming, and you're probably talking about your team like, okay, what do we do next? This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do X. We're going to do Y, for example. And he probably didn't even realize what kind of gold he's got, and so he's like, oh, okay, I've got this much money. I'm just going to right click a light brand, for example. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the reason why, but
yeah.
He's got it now, though. He did actually go Heart before he went Resto, but then he didn't go Rune Cleaver in the last game, though, so who knows.
That's true, yeah.
All sorts of items he could go for, man. He hasn't followed a trend. He hasn't followed a trend, so... I mean,
this is the third game ever we've seen Salamon, apparently, on record, so it just so happens we saw it twice yesterday and once today now. And it's not, I just love it, too, because it's not like... This is the fourth game, okay, shout out. Anyways, it's not like anything really changed with this hero.
Yeah.
Nothing drastically, I don't even think any balance changes happened with this hero in the last 6 months plus. So
it hasn't.
It's just like all of a sudden, hey, you know what? This hero's good. Let's play it. Here it is, 500 million gold per minute. Well, 750, but still.
Teams are just lazy. I think they're like, oh yeah, we'd rather stick with the same stuff, really.
Yeah. Anyway, Salamon is pushing in now. Oh, trample! Okay, that was a shot to Harkon actually that did stun him, but. Gonna be fine. Of course, that was just really kind of bait. He does have 40 seconds now remaining on the token here. Or did he just get the resto? Yeah, he got the resto delivered to him. Drops the homecoming stone, but he'll have that to pick up once the token wears off, if anything, if it's necessary. But probably not going to be. Take the stun off the bat, but again, it's like, yeah, they're not really going in, though. It's too scary.
3 Shunkers, though, on the side of Ogre. This is where they're going to start being useful. He has no token. Oh, he's just going to die, and then, yeah.
He just basically
That's risky, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's... just giving it up like that. It seems a little silly. He's not the greatest sieger, that's for sure. In fact, he's going to be jump right after the bat. Storm Spirit comes out, though. Magma stuns in. Can he get the ulti for him off? He finally pops Dragon, and now here he goes. He jumps on a Malkin in the background. Ulti from Malkin comes out, though. Big Fear Effect. Tempest. Was his ulti stop? No, he still has an Elemental Void. He can't get it off, though. He's going to end up falling. There's the second Salamon ulti, but he's dropping quickly. Salamon's in trouble. Salamon goes down. And a big victory fight for Shrek is Love right here. Magnus is able to get away, but the lockdown, everything came together for Shrek, apparently. Cthulhu on the only one to die. Yep, that fear.
Tempest Porky's in, expects to try and ulti, then instantly Malakin ultis, and Tempest is feared, and then a stun from the Cthulhu. Make sure he dies. And actually really clutch play from Mazera as well, actually. He actually used Puppet's hold onto the Magnus when he was erupting, so when he finished erupting, he just sort of stood there. He tried to run and got pulled back, for example. So really clutch plays from all of Ogre there, and as a result, they easily take that team fight there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Tempest ultimate not going off because of Malakin was definitely the biggest thing.
And I think, again, Armando's kind of an interesting hero, too, that it's hard to really tell how much damage he's putting out, but I guarantee you, he was literally breaking his finger pressing that W button. And yeah, you look at the damage charts, I mean, that's not too surprising, but he just spammed that. I mean, there's actually, it just so happens on Reddit, there's a, one of the top posts lately was a picture of Mr. Bean just pressing the piano key, and it was basically saying, how I feel playing Armadon in the later game, just over and over and over again. Because that's what you do with this hero. You just literally spam W in fights. But again, especially with the charges adding up and the AoE presence, it was hitting multiple, if not even all the heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much spread damage that's coming out.
Really does stack up, so.
There's a symbol on Malakin.
Yeah, and now this is the point where, I mean, Nullstone definitely did not want the stage of the game to get to this point where Ogre, all 3 of their cores have strong and Ed. They're building like the big luxury items, so like the symbol of rage, obviously, the Soul's Bulwark, for example, and obviously they've got like 3,000 still gold on Armadon, about 2,000 gold on Pub Master as well. So yeah, I think Nullstone, unfortunately, they missed their timing. That could be because a couple of bad team fights here and there. Their lane hasn't gone too well either, and getting picked off here as well isn't going to help it, unfortunately. So
yeah. You see Quincy again, that's a funky stat right there, but again, stressing the point that 3 heroes are over 400 gold per minute heroes. At this point, Puppet, Armadon, and then Malikan even 500 plus. So again, even though Salamon's up there, making kind of skewing it a little bit, it's still there across the board, doing very, very good with their farm, and that's on 3 different heroes, 3 different skill sets, obviously, where Salamon's just himself, and really is that ultimate. Really, so I don't know. I'm still not sure about the verdict of Salamon. To be frank, I mean, I know this hero farms like crazy, and it's ridiculous in the numbers, but is he really the best? Because is he really doing the most with the items that he's getting compared to others, like a Dark Lady or like a Malikan or whatever?
It's not because of what he does with the items he's got. Obviously, like a Dark Lady with 740 GPM is going to do a lot more than Salomon with 740 GPM. The real niche of the hero is that you get 740 GPM and you get, like, say, 10,000 net worth 10, 15, 20 minutes before the enemy carry, and because of that, you try and take like an advantage in a team fight, for example, with the item window.
Is it safe to say he's a mid-game carry then, not a late-game carry?
Yes, okay. exactly. That makes sense. Exactly what I'm trying to say, and that's where it fits in this draft here, Breaky. Like, you got Nullstone. They don't have really any kind of late-game scaling carries, really. But what they do have is Fuzzy here farming incredibly well, got a good item advantage actually over all the carries here on the side of Ogre, and they're trying to obviously try and force advantages, false objectives, but unfortunately they haven't been able to force enough, honestly, because they've got stronger heads now on all 3 of their cores on the side of Ogre, and it's getting to the point where Salomon really isn't offering too much, honestly. Like, he's got a lot of farm now, but unfortunately, the side of Ogre, I mean, you contribute all 3 of the the tricle here on the side of Ogre, and they're going to easily out farm and out carry Salomon. So yeah, unfortunately, I think Nelson have missed their timing window. They had a good opportunity, obviously, that time where they did a big team fight. They took token, but unfortunately weren't able to break base before that, and as a result, it's really hurting them now. So the more farm they do, it's only going to get worse from now on, honestly.
Yeah. And we're definitely in, a very passive state now of this game, as you would expect, especially with these 2 teams going at it. You've got Moira kind of scouting at the Ancients, making sure nothing's really happening over here. But look at Armadon, a demonic breastplate finished on him, so we stressed that earlier, how seems like he's a good candidate for that, and has that picked up now. Shrunken Ant picked up by Cthulhu Font right there. You have a Hellflower in the works for Puppet Master, so more lockdown going to be coming out from him. And Malikan's very likely going to get his next big damage tool now, coming up here as 2,500 gold saved up. Again, Rift Shards, something like that along those lines. Wouldn't be surprised to see here. So, as I say that, okay, he's going to be fine, though. Top lane need to be a little bit careful, and he was. Falls back before catch happens. But yeah, it's really feeling like, again, this game is, we could very likely be going to a game number 3, unless Nullstone wins another big fight coming up some way, somehow. Behind the power of Salomon, and as a team, I mean, again, they have Tempest, they have the team fight synergy, and most certainly if they get the catch, they can win a big team fight. So it's not, by all means, not out of the question here, but Shrek is feeling fairly good themselves, I'm sure, about where they're at. Now, one of the dangerous things, though, you don't want to do if you're Nelson, now, 5,300 gold on Salomon. You don't want to be pushing into the base with this much gold pulled up on your carry here, I think it's safe to say.
Oh.
Perhaps buying something, but yeah, we're going to see something here. Armadon's invis, they have no clue. In jumps Tempest, but Malikan catches with the ulti form. Tempest is going to fall. Why he jumped in there like that is beyond me, but he did, and thus he pays for it. Glacius also going to go down. No, he actually lived. Wow, he ports out.
Yeah, the Void Talisman. Yeah. That's Void Talisman.
Keeps him alive. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know what Tempest was thinking there. That was silly.
Well, I mean, they knew they were getting a little bit desperate, honestly. They knew they had to try and do something. Yeah, it was a little bit aggressive, a little bit YOLO, seeing he doesn't really have Shrunken Head, but still, they're looking to try and find anything or something, but wasn't able to find it, and I mean, now they're going to lose token as well. Oh, maybe not. They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, well, no, going back in. Okay. Yeah, they get the...
Man, this Armadon is farmed, though, like, really well. Like, really, really well. Oh, Glacius.
Ooh, Puppet. He finds Glacius, kind of. Opens up finally, but is forced about the struggle. But again, there's that Void Talisman. Now Puppet Master actually the one in trouble. There's the Arcane Vortex. Cthulhu Font, he's going to go. He stuns Magnus, actually. Magnus in the background being locked down as he was trying to come in to help. And now he's in a lot of trouble. Salomon jumps Moira, though, and just destroys her. He comes out of the ultimate form, pops Shrunken Head. He has a Restil Stone if he wants to try for something, but yeah, they ain't going to, and fall back as a team right there. So yeah, they will stall a Congar at least. No buybacks needed on either side at this point, so 38 minutes in. They have that to look forward to at least.
I mean, Ogre and Rustin, that's surprisingly got a lot of farm, though. 420 on Puppet, 520 on Malik, and 480 on Armament. Heck, like, even Cthulhu's got like 300 GPM nearly. That's a lot of farm, honestly. Like, really, really a lot of farm. And I'm just kind of surprised. Like, normally, like, this sort of strategy in draft here from Nelson is trying to restrict that, trying to get these objectives, really sort of restrict and control the map, really control what Ogre can do to try and reduce their impact and reduce their almost race to the late game, which Ogre have already kind of achieved, honestly. They're peaking very, very well at the moment, and Nullstone, yeah, it's just kind of a little bit a slope at the moment trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, they're going to try right here with the Veiled Rod, but Glacius comes out, puts a word aside. Down to see Morris scouting Conquer just in case. They actually have a pretty good angle right here. This is something Rush being channeled. He's going to be looking to go in. Jumps on a Puppet Master right off the bat. Puppet Master going to fall very likely. He does go down. Salamon no ulti just yet. The Fear Effect comes out. They just drop. Tempest Ultimate comes out though. No Arcane Vortex, but the follow-up again. It just isn't nearly enough. Salamon doing what he can. A hat trick for Fuzzy Sloth actually, but it's just too much. Puppet Master, of course, buying back. You see Malik and Armadon chasing down. Armadon again, I guarantee you, those Quills just doing so much. He is damn fast, 474 movement speed here, and it's going to be enough to initially get away at least, and he will survive. But holy crap, I mean, the Tempest Ultimate was big, but it just didn't matter.
When some people might be sort of criticising Fuzzy Sloth's ability or targeting there, he actually went on the Moira instead of sort of the heroes into the Tempest. However, like, he had to do that though because Moira was just about to Arcane Vortex. It was coming off cooldown in the next 2 seconds, and if that happened, then there would be no damage onto the cores anyway. So he killed him, but by that time, obviously, the Tempest was over, and unfortunately, there just wasn't enough damage to be done to the Armadon, the Malikan. Like, there's two very, very tanky cores in terms of Armadon and Malikan, and like they've got only 3.2k HP, and I mean Salomon, we've talked about him not being a late game carry, and he's not going to be able to cut through that kind of damage, unfortunately.
No, he's not. He's relying on his teammates, and right now there's just no sign of that. There's no sign of any presence of physical damage, especially coming out from his teammates. They're relying a lot on the ultis to come together. And yeah, I think that is a good example of that fight. Even if things do kind of line up, it's not really the best. They had the Eruption, they had the Tempest Ultimate, and it just didn't matter right there. I don't know how much work Midas was able to do himself, but yeah, it's looking gloom. It's looking gloom here for Grim. That's the word I was looking for. Anyways, for Nullstone, it's looking bad. Let's keep it simple right there. Armadon is going for the Frost of Skull. Because why not? Has the Icebrand tanking up even more, has that counter kite factor, and also will decrease the attack speed on top of that. So just another bonus from that. The Rift Shards, of course, are Malakir level 3, and looks like Shrek is comfortable enough now to start doing some work themselves. As far as going for a push, obviously Tempest Ultimate is down, and I'm sure that's a big reason. Salamon's ulti is still down as well with that Wish for Revenge. 20 more seconds. Doesn't have the Resto Stone up, obviously, so Moira kind of boxing out what he can over here with that Ephemeral Forge. You see the top lane, though. Nullstone's doing the counter push. Salamon and Glacius, Salamon Illusions, I guess, but still doing a little bit of work up there, keeping them guessing, but the melee Rax is going to end up falling here middle. Salamon trying to distract him as much as possible. Here we go, and the back of Malikan jumps in. Tempest taking so much damage, and look at that. He falls shortly after. And now Salamon pops struck in. He has his ulti. He jumps back at himself, going for Armadon. And actually, Armadon is going to be locked down. Then Eruption didn't work too. Malikan goes down. And now Cthulhu's in trouble, so they lose the Rax. But they're going to get several kills right here to finish it off. So, again, still life here for Nullstone, definitely. Coming out, I guess. But this is going to be another one of these crazy games. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, they have to go now. That they have to try and get something, or at least force buybacks, because unfortunately they're not going to take this late. So they have to go all in kind of thing right now. Oh, Midas. No, nice play from Moira, actually. I think you might have been able to catch Puppet Monster, but nice play from Moira, securing that. Someone actually bought post-haste TV top. Ooh,
going to the top lane. Puppet Master, Assassin Shroud, or no, that's actually the Invis rune right there that he has, so lasting a lot longer. And that could be pretty crucial right here, because they're going to be able to open on to Salamon. He does have an ulti with the Resto Stone use. They catch Puppet Master. They didn't even realize, though. And actually the show comes in a little. He's killing his Glacius, though. That's unfortunate. Glacius is still barely alive. In the meantime, Asuka does get picked off on Midas. And the rest are going to fall back. I think Glacius, his end is going to be near here. Oh, my God. He got away.
Oh, right.
He's had some close calls, man. He does survive that, though. They got a sheep stick on Magnus now. 5,200 gold on Salama, but again, it's like, what do you go here? It's you could sell the Rune Cleaver and just get a Doombringer, man. I'm telling you, sell the Rune Cleaver, get a Doombringer. Why not in this case?
You know, Break. Yes, exactly my line of thinking as well. Like Rune Cleaver is like gonna do not much for you. You just got to go YOLO, boys. The YOLO bringer, bring him out, bring him out. He's got the money, that's for sure.
Yeah. Definitely think there's good logic there, so we'll see if he goes for it. Magnus stuns him with the Eruption. They catch Puppet Master. Now he has a token, remember. He will get burnt down pretty quickly. Salomon still has his ulti, as Tempest does as well. You see Moira, though, she's sitting really far back. That's exactly what they're waiting for there in that sense, knowing that Moira can instantly stop that Tempest ulti. So they get the ranged racks. They did cost the token, though, to do so. But, yeah. I know it's easy for us to say, but I really just would like to see the Salomon get a Doombringer here. I mean, he has to replace that Rune Cleaver, though. I mean, there's no question. It has to be some kind of increased damage, like a Savage Mace at the very least. But
no, I mean, like if you're playing this game, you go Doombringer. That's the only thing that might be able to save them from impending doom.
Yeah.
Like imagine like a Doombringer, for example, like with all the cleaves from like a 4 or 5 man Tempest armor. That could be actually something that might be able to win in the game. But Savage Mace, unfortunately, is not going to do enough damage.
Well, Frostal Skull just about finished on Armadon, I believe. Going to be a pretty solid pickup there for him. You do see the Nullstone is trying to find any kind of action up here, maybe get a pick, but Malakin falls back before he is vulnerable right there. He's actually still sitting on the level 3 Rift Shards. Interesting. I guess they have bought back, so it has something to do with that. I mean, yeah, this game's definitely continues to not be over once again, but Nullstone is...
I don't know. The only reason why it doesn't seem as bad as possible... No, yeah. The only reason why it doesn't seem as bad as that actually is because you got a Salomon in the game. It's got 800 GPM, but like Salomon with 800 GPM is like kind of standard. It really doesn't do much, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Particularly in the late stages of the game, he was capped out at like 35 minutes, and for the last 10 minutes he's been sort of almost losing gold in that respect. So, yeah, like just go Doombringer. Like it would almost it would like double his damage practically. So
that is
the only thing that might be able to save them.
Well,
that's risky, but
exactly. And I hate seeing them kind of going for a push like this. I know they're going to fall back in the end, but what if a fight broke out right there? I mean, just spend the gold, man. Sell the Rune Cleaver, get a big damage item. You would still have a buyback, I'm fairly certain. Especially if you sell the Rune Cleaver, keeping that in mind. So, I just wanted to get that damage, man.
I think people just like farming. Like they just love it. They just love seeing the little numbers pop up.
Yeah.
Like I'm rich.
I know. Again, a fight didn't break out, so it's still fine. But it's like, what if?
Or DD,
what if a fight breaks out?
Sell Rune Cleaver, get Doombringer, pick up DD, win fight, win
game. There you go. That's easy as that. Let's do it. Alright, he has 8,000 gold, so something has to give here soon. Something has to give. Again, I don't think it's too crazy to suggest that selling the Rune Cleaver to get a big damage item is very worth it here, but for some reason Fuzzy Sloth is either he's still indecisive of what he wants to go, or I don't know, maybe figures
just lots of big numbers.
Maybe he wants to buy back into buying a big damage item to kind of catch them off guard. I guess that could be something, but could you do something like use a Resto Stone, sell it, buy another one, and Resto again?
It's cooldown on the
like
cooldown on the
cooldown.
Yeah, it's a global. Like I said, yeah, it's not actually on. It's on the hero, not on the item. If that makes any sense. So, yeah, unfortunately not.
I think that would be fun, but yeah, no, that I understand why. Puppet Master, bottom lane. He's Assassin Shroud. He needs to be careful. He opens right here, but there's support nearby. Unfortunately, they can't do too much though. That shrunken head, more than enough. And Salomon comes in though. He needs to ult to get the kill. He doesn't want to. If he ulted it, that was a kill.
Midas like back, like the shrunken did actually just wear off before he TP'd out. Like if Midas was there, he could have easily Storm Spirited him before. That could have been maybe something, but unfortunately not, man. They need to play risky. They need to like go balls to the wall, as you would say. Just go YOLO.
Go balls to the wall. You know, he might buy a courier here, but again, I hope he doesn't. He needs the damage. Like he better not buy a Sheepstick courier here with this gold. You figure it would have been pretty obvious by now, especially with these last couple of fights and everything, that they need damage. I don't know how much more I can stress that.
Yeah, I mean, Root Cleaver are like good for like clearing out the creep wave, and obviously gives you a bit of cleave, for example, but it's not going to be enough, and he might
oh my God,
be in trouble now, actually.
There's that Snotstorm, man, doing some work. He's turning on Armadon, but again, not the easiest target to kill himself. Cthulhu goes in. There's a Storm Spear on Iglesias. Not going to be the most overcommitting here from Shrek. They don't want to throw this game, obviously, so going to keep it calm here. Do they have a token right now? No, they don't. So, guess waiting for another Conqueror. I've lost track, honestly. I want to say it would be the third Conqueror, but these games are blending together. We just had a 70-minute game 1, and we're getting close to 50 minutes here now in game 2. So, a lot has happened here between these two games. And at this rate, again, it still looks like it could very possibly be game 3 if Shrek does come out on top. But Nullstone doing their best to hold it off here and not let that happen. 10,000 gold saved up just about on Salamon. 11,000. Okay, sold the Rune Cleaver. What is he going? Genjiro. Okay.
That's not damage, though. Like, he's a strength hero. Like, it gives him plus 45. Oh.
What is that? Oh, juice. More, that's kind of distracting here.
Yeah, that's actually less damage than what if he kept the Rune Cleaver.
I don't like it.
Rune Cleaver actually gives him 60.
It's too much of a defensive idea. It's like, I don't know why, I don't know.
It gives him a bit of sort of dart around the scene fight, sort of kite the Malakan and the Almadon, but like he just needs to cut through him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Savage Mace or Doombringer would like the options here, I think. It's safe to say, but well, he goes to Genjiro. We'll see how that works out for them. Again, even with those big damage items, is there still a good chance? It's obviously not necessarily the case.
Is that Brutalizer?
It was, yeah. That's awkward.
That's so that I was gonna say that's
ranged heroes not necessarily as impactful with the Brutalizer. What is it? It's like 10% chance for ranged, yeah, compared to 25%. So usually not your best option. More as continuing to scout things out. That's got to be frustrating, man. More just constantly going in, burning mana, stunning people. It's like, God dang it, just stop doing this. All right, Conqueror being attempted. I kind of fall back.
Oh, here comes the bad rot. At least they're being proactive.
But they're doing it right next to a ward of sight, so I'm pretty sure that was seen. Yeah, that's why Shrek's falling back.
Yeah.
So good.
The thing is, no one's farming mid. It's a bit obvious, I guess, as well. If they want to do this, they want to push out lanes first, so it's not as obvious. There's no one's farming mid, like, and it's like pushing into their base. Like, where could they be?
Mora in the background. Ooh, you know, it's a tense place here again. Mora doing the thing. Mana Sunder, I'm sure, going to be used as well. No, Storm Spirit just before. Using a Storm Spirit though on a Mora illusion. That's. I mean, if a fight breaks out now, that's a pretty big deal. 20 seconds left on the cooldown. Wouldn't be able to use that here. So it's just a battle at Congress. Usually it is in games like this. The stalemate. Another 5,700 gold saved up on Salamon in the meantime.
I think the only thing that might be able to save him is 5-man Timbersaw. That's the only thing I can think of that would be able to maybe get him. And even then, I don't know if they're going to have the damage to actually kill him in the 5-man Timbersaw, I don't think. But if it's going to be anything, it's going to be that. And it has to be 5 as well, because anyone will be able to stop it because he doesn't have a strong head.
True.
So,
well, not anyone. Armadon can't, but everyone else could.
Oh, yeah, I guess. But then if you don't get Armadon, then he'll probably kill the rest of your team, kind of thing. So, it has to be all 5, which is... Yeah, I don't know. Moira's got a portal key as well, so she shouldn't really be getting picked off from the Timbersaw, but...
Bananas are just going to be left. I mean, they know they're there, though. Yeah, they're deciding who wants to pick it up. Looks like Puppet Master. Token, of course, on Malakin. And it continues. The stalemate continues here between Shrek and Nullstone. So, yeah, Sync, I'm sure a couple of the players, in fact, I see a couple of them in chat even. Again, they're waiting to face the winner of this. And right now, it looks like there could still very possibly be a third game coming at you. So, I have to wait perhaps a little bit longer now.
Oh, all of them, maybe?
The top lane, yeah, but no, he's fine. In fact, they may want to try for something on Armadon, but that's always a difficult choice, especially in Armadon that's farmed like this.
Well, maybe up here as well, though. They're definitely going to go for this.
All right.
Yep.
It's just him. Here we go. Genjiro in. Again, it's Armadon, so I'm a little worried, but he's dropping a little bit. Spamming those
DD
quills.
Glacius.
DD Glacius
Nice.
assisting. All right, it will be a kill.
Yeah.
Took them half an hour, but they get it.
Yeah.
Good
Nice.
job, though. And he does have a buyback, though. So.
Yeah, but they want to least pressure or get something out of it, though, because obviously that's going to be one of the best opportunities they're really going to be able to get. So they should definitely try and use it or try and get something out of it. And yeah, everyone's running top, so this is their moment breaking.
This is the moment. Puppet Master scouting out with the Assassin Shroud. Only 5 more seconds remaining. Needs to be careful with that. Genjiro use on the Salamon opens up right there and going to damage down the creep wave. There's a puppet shell, so they're doing some damage here. Storm Spirit, no, the Cthulhu's not going to miss because of that. So that'll be down for a little bit longer now. Not going to really be able to take the most advantage of it, though. Gonna wait for the next creep wave here. So again, token of life on Malakin. They haven't even used the buyback yet. They're just not too comfortable. And you look at the middle lane push. That's a heavy creep wave push there coming. Still a secondary tower up. That's crazy. Moria stuns in. Cthulhu goes in as well. Magnus dropping. Malakin, he's trying to get in there. He's not going to be able to chase that. Or he will actually. He ports in, pops the ulti, catches Glacius. The rest of the team falling back though. It's just not worth the risk. Glacius is still alive, yeah.
It's quite a bit of damage from Glacius, actually.
They could have tried to turn it, but again, Malcolm with the token, it was risky, so. But it goes back to as well, how many better opportunities are you going to have here on Nullstone's side? It's not going to be many, you would figure, so. But unable to capitalize there. So now it's on Shrek to push themselves, possibly. The token of life still about 2 minutes remaining. Malakin, he has a 5-second shrunken head himself, so maybe rebuying that would be valuable here. Puppet Master, the same situation, actually.
It looks like Ogre are going to be the ones pushing it in, I guess. They got token the advantage, but I don't know. They're still pushing into a Tempest Magnus combo. And it's going to be very easy for Nullstone to pull off this combo, but I guess they feel they're throwing up heads just to go, regardless.
Yeah. What's going on down here? Is that the real Salamon? It is, yeah. Curious about that. He's trying to do some damage to Cthulhu. He nearly kills him, actually, but that's to port out before he got jumped himself. So, yeah, another 9,000 gold saved up. Again, we're in that space now. I guess with his inventory, he might as well. What is he doing here? He drops a Behemoth's Heart. What is he deciding on? He buys a Courier. He's going to be doing a Sheepstick, yep. Sheepstick Courier, all right. So we have that similar to last game. Very rarely see this, but just so happens because Salamon's in the game, that's probably your best chance to see it. Jump on Armadon right here. Not the most pressure though, just kind of filling it out. Again, Armadon tanking. Don't want to use a whole lot. The tower though dropping. Gonna have to decide on something here soon. Stun on Armadon. He's dropping. Sheepstick comes out, but now they're going to play aggressive on the side of Shrek. They do drop Armadon, though. He goes down. And now Salamon beating on a Puppet Master. He's actually going to be dropping him, it looks like. Ulti form up. And he gets the kill. And now he needs to focus on the Malakin. Misses the cleave. Jumps in. They'll stun on a Cthulhu. Going to be coming out of the ulti form. He does right there. Does he have a second one? He does. Not going to use it right here. They're doing enough to chase out Cthulhu. So actually quite the hold here for Null. So a hat trick coming out for Fuzzy Sloth. And the rest of the team falling back, so the Genjiro proving to do enough. They didn't even need a big Tempest ultimate or anything. They just simply picked them off one by one. Salamon got a great jump in the background, and they couldn't stop him.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't either.
So random, but I guess it's because, when they're running with a tri-core line of Armadon, Malakun, and Puppet Master, they don't have the greatest sort of team for or sort of setup. And that's what I was a little bit worried from when they're pushing in, obviously. Although, Nullstone didn't get any big Tempest ultimate off, they obviously got a Magnus up. They had the initiation factor, and now they're pushing in. They're going to use the final buybacks here from Ogre, actually.
Yeah, Armadon just used his. Malakin, he's up, of course. You got Puppet Master and Cthulhu. Puppet Master couldn't, but not enough pressure, so going to fall back here.
It's just because I think, with Nullstone, when Ogre are pushing into Nullstone's base, they have the initiation advantage, obviously. So they could jump onto Ogre, and they brought down Armadon pretty quickly, honestly. Same goes for Puppet Master as well. That they left, Malakun to his own devices.
Oh, the token they find Armadon here. He has no more buybacks. They should know that too. And he's going to end up dropping. Never mind. A little too tanky. And Moira coming in with the illusion scares them off. She's harassing Midas now a little bit. Midas actually could be in trouble now because of that Mana Sunder. Should be fun at the same time. Portal key, yep, going to be good. As he uses it right there. So at least we'll survive that. And Harmadon, though, again, he had no buyback, so that could have really been a big kill.
Yeah. I don't know where. I think Solomon perhaps should have just used the resto. Maybe it's. I think he would have definitely killed Armadon if he used the resto, but I don't know if it would have been worth it. It seems strange to sort of say it would have been worth for a kill with someone without a buyback, but you've seen Solomon without sort of ultimate, does very, very little. So I don't know. Might not have got the kill even if he ulted either, so it would have been even more risky if he didn't. So I can understand. At least they forced out a stronger Ned. Obviously, I think, how long was the stronger Ned use on now? Only yes, that was his 5 seconds stronger Ned there. So still something, I guess, but Null are still somewhat in this game, and I have no idea why. But I think it's because they're taking a lot of their team fights in their base when they can have the initiation effect. Tempest does have stronger Ned if he wants it, but he wants buyback as well. I think stronger Ned is definitely worth it though, because if you like die when you've already used your ultimate, for example, you're not really offering too much in team fights. So I would like to see him buy stronger Ned, try and land a good ultimate, but let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Or Midas.
This is a chance. No Midas. Falls back before it gets jumped right there.
Oh, they're going to lose their racks before they even realise
Yep.
they have no fortification. Yep.
It's going to happen really quickly right here. Now, ports are coming in. Magma stunts in as well. Nice line stun, actually. Transmit on top of that. They're locking them down. Salamon, though, that fear effect doing work, and he's in trouble with the puppet show. He's going to be Storm Spirited. Going to be coming out. He has a Rest Still Stone. Needs to use it, though. And ulti form right here. He does. He jumps back in. Armadon's dropping right here. Salamon, though, is going to be coming out shortly. He's in trouble, but no, the damage is too much. Malika goes down. Puppet Master falls. What a turnaround for No Stone Gaming. That team fight again. No Tempest ultimate even needed. And there's the post-ace bottom. Salamon going to put the pressure on. No buyback Malakin. Cthulhu does, but it would be just him and Moira. Did No Stone Gaming really just do it right here? You know, I made the comment, this is a mid-game carry. I think we gotta retract on that, man. Clearly Salamon is able to do plenty.
I don't understand what was going on. I don't know how they're winning these team fights. Like, on paper, it should not happen, but
The initiation was great by them initially, and obviously
they're not able to kill the Salamon though. Like, when he's got 2 ultimates, for example, he has like 2 or 3 lives. Like, they got him low a couple of times, but when he has his second ultimate, like, he just seems to do so much work. Like, I don't know what's going on, Breaky. This should not be happening, but it is. Like, wow, this Salamon is doing so much work.
Absolutely ridiculous. They're going to get bottom. They got middle, and they may get mega creeps. They're going to, I mean, it's just Cthulhu. This is mega creeps. Holy crap. No Stone Gaming. Salamon is proven to be doing work. And again, I still can't get over the fact this is back-to-back fights they've won now without a Elemental Void even being used.
I know.
So that's got to be on Shrek, right? I mean, something's just not going right here on their side.
I think it's because they're targeting Salamon though in these team fights, and like he gets low, he pops his armor, and then he has like an extra, what is it? An extra 2,300 HP to sort of play around him. They kill him with that 2,300 HP. You pop him another armor, for example. And that's like he's got like an effective almost 10,000 HP with both his ultimates. I think Ogre should be focusing the rest of his team, but they're just not. And now they're fighting against mega creeps. Like, I mean, they still have a possibility to win this team fight, though. Salamon's ultimate is down for 35 seconds and Resto's down for 90 seconds. I mean, if Ogre have an opportunity to take this team fight, but they have to take it right now. Because we've seen the last couple of team fights, when Salamon has an ultimate, they are not winning him, for example. But with it down, he offers very, very little, so they have to go all in, and they have to do it right now.
You look at the Alchemist Ogre down here being controlled by the Hellborn team, actually good for post-haste port. We talked about that before. Now, I wonder if there's a specific reason why it's an Alchemist Ogre, if that just happens to be the creep.
DD Salamon.
But DD Salamon, he's imaged right next to them. Malakin going to be jumped. She's comes out. Look at how fast he's dropping right off the bat. Salamon's doing so much. Malakin will die, and that could be it. No Stone Gaming. What a comeback by them. They're trying to fight here as Shrek, but I think it's just going to be 2. Money comes up for Salamon. He doesn't even need it. He's just right-clicking in his normal form. A hat trick for him. GG, well played. No Stone will win the series 2 games to nothing. Wow. Back-to-back hour-long games. This game was not theirs to win, and somehow they do persevere. Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't even understand Honda anymore, Breaky. I don't know how that happens. That's just Salamon was out-carried three calls.
Like I said, this is I knew that game was just going to be another just weird finish. He did, and Salamon's really teams need to start getting interested in this hero because he's showing these last 2 days how ridiculous he actually can be for your team. 17-2-13.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, I think the only thing that makes maybe a little bit of sense is that perhaps they're focusing Salomon, like when he had a couple of ultimates, for example. But with that team fight, for example, he didn't even have the ultimate. He did have DD, which I guess was a big factor in those team fights. But Ogre, they just couldn't finish anyone off. They had 3 sort of late game cores, but they didn't have great team fight. They didn't have setup stuns. They didn't have burst, for example. And I guess that what really hurt them in those team fights. But wow, I was not expecting that finish, that's for sure.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of focus on Salomon, but honestly, we got to give credit to Magnus, Beaverbanger. He had some big ultis in those later fights, most certainly. And I think he was a big part of that, too. And I think Asuka, it was hard to kind of tell what impact he was